Good, happy Thursday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to for this Thursday evening, so let's begin. First up, 3 employees sickened after chemicals mix at Amazon facility in Nashua. Employees' symptoms include respiratory-related issues. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
I knew that I wanted to work in education. So I started looking on LinkedIn. I found a role at this amazing school. I applied and landed the job. I love sharing what young women are capable of.
Just after 4 in the morning, 22 Nashua firefighters, along with police officers and an ambulance crew, responded to the Amazon warehouse. The call came in as a chemical incident at the building located at 10 State Street.
We arrived and located one female individual that needed to be assisted from the building and 2 male co-workers that needed to be assisted from the building.
The 3 workers were in the process of cleaning the building when they were exposed.
It was reported to us that the employees were mixing a known chemical and there was a possibly unknown chemical in the bucket already that they were putting their chemicals in, and that caused a reaction.
The 3 then taken to the hospital.
The major symptoms we saw were respiratory-related issues and scratchiness, coughing, related issues.
Back in November, the manager of a Buffalo Wild Wings in Burlington, Massachusetts, was overcome by a mixture of cleaning chemicals and subsequently died. The deputy chief says that was something they were thinking about, as they weren't sure at first what they were dealing with.
Until we get eyes on a situation and can evaluate it, that's in the back of your mind. You're definitely thinking about that worst case scenario.
There was also a smaller night crew inside the warehouse. They were evacuated as a precaution, none of them showing any ill effects from the reaction. Amazon has just issued a statement which says, in part, they take the safety of their employees very seriously and cooperating in the investigation. The State Fire Marshal's office has been notified. We're told that OSHA is also launching an investigation. Reporting live in Nashua, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire State Police remind commercial vehicle drivers to abide by Jessica's law. Ice chunks fly off tractor trailers in 2 separate incidents, police say. New Hampshire State Police are reminding commercial motor vehicle drivers to clear off any ice or snow from their vehicle before hitting the road. Police said they found fragments of ice more than 3 inches thick that flew from tractor trailers into the roadway in 2 separate incidents. The ice chunks could cause significant damage to other vehicles and their passengers, State Police wrote on Facebook. We ask that all commercial motor vehicles take extra time to clean off their trucks and trailers before entering the roadway to avoid a potential dangerous and tragic incident. Drivers who violate the law face fines of $250 to $500 for the first offense and $500 to $1,000 for multiple offenses. And here is that photo from Facebook that New Hampshire State Police share. Take a look. Very dangerous, as you can see. This could cause an accident, number of things. So, truck drivers, everybody, remember to clean your car off before hitting the road. New Hampshire unsolved case file. Who killed Sherry Roth? Case of 1977. Killing of North Conway woman has gone cold. Let's take a look at that video from WMUR News 9.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Okay, and there you go on that video. State Senator Martha Fuller Clark, first vice chair of NHDP, endorses Biden for president. Portsmouth Democrat endorses Sanders in 2016, 3 months after he won the primary. Now she endorses Joe Biden. Update. Concord bus driver dies after crash in the North End. School superintendent says the driver suffered a heart attack, which led him to drive the empty bus into a utility pole on Washington Street in Concord. Take a look at this photo right here. As you can see, this is a photo from the crash scene today. Concord police and fire rescue teams were sent to the North End to deal with a minor accident involving a school bus that led to the death of the driver. Around 8:30 a.m., first responders were called to Washington and North Streets. Assist to Concord School District driver who crashed into a utility pole, according to a witness at the scene. The bus was empty. Interim School Superintendent Franklin Bass said the driver suffered a medical incident before the crash after dropping off students at Runlet Middle School. Especially, the driver had a heart attack, and officials believe he was attempting to stop the vehicle at the time of the accident. At just before 2:30 p.m., Bass confirmed to Patch that the driver died Thursday. The superintendent's office and school board have sent condolences to the family, Bass said. And our thoughts and prayers go to that bus driver's family and friends and co-workers. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you for this Thursday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green, one up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green, one up. S&P 500 closed in the green, one up. Gold closed flat. Oil closed flat. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the green, one up. And VAX closed flat. Dow surges 200 points to a record led by Apple as U.S.-Iran tension decreases. Stocks jumped to record highs on Thursday as tensions between Iran and the U.S. eased for the time being, with tech shares outperforming. Reactions on the ground as Trump announces new sanctions against Iran. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Latest on the showdown with Iran, both sides backing off from military action for now, but President Trump promising tough sanctions for those strikes on U.S. forces.
And in a moment, George is going to speak with Vice President Mike Pence, but first, our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Panel, starts us off in Erbil, Iraq, with the very latest. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. I'd say a slight easing of tensions here, although with this latest rocket strike, we're not in the clear just yet. And for U.S. troops, I think real dangers remain. Overnight, another rocket strike towards the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad's international green zone. This morning, a spokesperson for the coalition saying there were no casualties or damage to facilities there. This, as U.S. military is assessing the impact in Iraq at the two bases Iran attacked overnight Tuesday. Satellite images show what the Al-Assad base looked like last month, and this is what it looks like today. The damage to structures clearly visible. Over 20 missiles were launched at two sites, some carrying 1,000-pound warheads. Remarkably, no U.S. coalition or Iraqi forces were killed, but the Pentagon says Iran's intent was clear: to kill American troops. Iran claiming on state TV it had killed dozens of Americans and the two military bases were crushed. President Trump making it clear that isn't the case.
We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe.
The president trying to ease tensions, saying he's ready to embrace peace, but still punishing Iran.
The United States will immediately impose additional punishing economic sanctions on the Iranian regime. These powerful sanctions will remain until Iran changes its behavior.
And U.S. intelligence agencies warning Iran still remains a threat at home and abroad. I think a couple of things to be aware of. Despite the conciliatory tone from the president, I think this latest rocket attack highlights the fact that pro-Iranian militias here in Iraq are still looking for revenge. Secondly, the Iranians regard further sanctions as a form of economic warfare, so that, of course, won't help ease tensions. And lastly, there's still massive pressure from both Iraq and Iran for U.S. troops to leave.
Hi. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Thursday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye, everyone.